on, at, in. For the following time we should use in. Seasons, for example. In winter. Decades, for example. In the 90s. Centuries, for example. In the 21st century. Parts of the day, for example. In the morning. Weeks, for example. In 4 weeks. Months, for example. In August. Years, for example. In 2017. Length of time, for example. In 3 hours. For the following time we should use on. Days of the week, for example. On Monday. Days of the month, for example, on the 28th. On day with part of the day, for example. On Sunday morning. Dates with month and day, for example. On April 13th. Holidays with day, for example. On Christmas Day. The weekends, for example. On the weekend. At is used for the following time. Clock, at 2 o'clock. Night, at night. Midnight, at midnight. Noon, at noon. The weekend, at the weekend. Sunrise, at sunrise. Sunset, at sunset. Lunchtime, at lunchtime. At New Year. At Christmas. At the moment. At the end of the month. We don't use at, on, in, before last, next, this, every. For example, I will see you next Friday, not on next Friday. They got married last March. I will see you on Friday or I will see you Friday. On time means not late. It happens at the time that was planned. For example, the 11:45 train left on time. In time for something or to do something means soon enough. Will you be home in time for dinner? The opposite of on time is late. Be on time. Don't be late. In time means too late. I got home too late to see the game on television. Pay attention to some examples. I have sent Jill a birthday present. I hope it arrives in time for her birthday equals on or before her birthday. I am in a hurry. I want to be home in time to see the game on television equals soon enough to see the game. At the end and in the end. At the end of something means at the time when something ends. The opposite is at the beginning of. In the end means finally. When we say what the final result of a situation was. The opposite is at first. Some examples. I am going away at the end of January. Or, at the end of the month. At the end of the concert, there was great applause. The players shook hands at the end of the game. The other examples. We had a lot of problems with our car. We sold it in the end. He got angrier and angrier. In the end he just walked out of the room. Alan couldn't decide where to go on vacation. He didn't go anywhere in the end. In can be used for position too. We say something or someone is in a line, in a raw, in the sky, in the world, in an office, in a department, in a book, in a newspaper, in bed, in the country or countryside. For these words in, is used in the hospital, in prison, in jail, in towns, in villages, in a taxi, in cities, in bed. Some examples. When I go to the movies, I like to sit in the front row. I just started working in the sales department. Who is the woman in that photo? Have you seen this picture in today's paper? I was sitting in the back of the car when we crashed. Let us sit in the front of the movie theater. John was standing in the back of the crowd. On is used for position, too. In Britain they drive on the left. Our apartment is on the second floor of the building. Here a shopping list. Don't buy anything that is not on the list. Have you ever worked on a farm? Washington, D.C., is on the east coast of the United States, on the Potomac River. I live on Main Street. My brother lives on Elm Street. We stopped at a small town on the way to Atlanta. We have, on the front, on the back, of the letter, paper, photo. I wrote the date on the back of the photo. At, can be used for position too. At the top, of. At the bottom, of. At the end, of. Write your name at the top of the edge. Jane House is at the other end of the street. At used for these words. At a tennis match. At a party. At a concert. At a wedding. At a conference. At home. At work. At a meeting. At, used with these words too. At the station. At the hairdresser's. At the airport. At somebody's house. At the doctor's. We usually say at when we say where an event takes place. For example, a concert, a movie, a party, a meeting. We went to a concert at Lincoln Center. The meeting took place at the company's headquarters in New York. Some examples. Were there many people at the party? At the meeting or at the wedding? I saw Steve at a tennis match, or, at a concert on Saturday. I will be at work until 5:30, but I will be at home all evening. Don't meet me at the station. I can get a taxi. I was at Sue's house last night. Pay attention that to following sentences. You can stop by anytime. I will be home all evening. We usually use in with cities, towns, and villages. Examples. Sam's parents live in St. Louis, not at St. Louis. The Louvre is a famous art museum in Paris. We use at or in when you think of the place as a point or position on a trip. For example, does this train stop at, or in, Denver, at the Denver station? We stopped at, or in, a small town on the way Denver. Arrive, in, or, at. For large places. Arrive in, is used. For example, yesterday, I arrived in the Netherlands to meet my co-workers. For small places, arrive at is used. For example, it is expected that the airplane arrives at the airport within 45 minutes. Arrive. We cannot use to after the word arrive. I normally arrive to college about an hour before my class starts, This sentence is wrong. We should use at instead of to. I normally arrive at college about an hour before my class starts. Corner. In the corner of a room. The television is in the corner of the room. At the corner or on the corner of a street. There is a mailbox at, or, on the corner of the street.